I have a bit of a cold right now, so I am using an AI voice for this video. So over the last 24 hours, I asked you guys to put the 12 TPOT episodes on a tier list, and I will give you the results and my thoughts. TPOT 4 is in last place with an average of 6/10. Its most voted category is a 6/10 with 69 votes, and its lowest is a 2/10 with only 4 votes. I think this is the most forgettable TPOT episode. I still haven't thought about anything important about the episode in this block of text, but it's not a bad episode either in my opinion. 11th goes to episode 5, also averaging with 6/10. The highest category was 6/10 with 64 votes, and its lowest was 3/10 with 6. This episode was my favorite out of episodes 3 to 6, it's the only one I don't find somewhat forgettable. TPOT 3 is next on the list and is the final 6/10 rating on this list. The highest voted was 6/10 with 78 votes, and its lowest was 2/10 with 2 votes. This episode was also pretty forgettable in my opinion, but it's better than episode 4. TPOT 6 is next on this list with 7/10 overall. The highest was 7 with 56 votes, and the lowest was 2 with 6 votes. This episode was the only other forgettable episode, but the 3 important things I remembered was basketball being safe, just Knott's journey, and 4 and X. I guess you could also include the leaks as well. The only episode to get the same placement as its episode number, TPOT 8, is next on the list with 7/10 average. 8/10 was its highest with 72 votes, and its lowest was 2/10 with 4 votes, which marks this episode as the first to not have its highest category the same as its average. This is my least favorite episode in my opinion, since the pacing was everywhere. It was pretty short, and it just felt off considering everything that happened with TPOT 7. This is a 3/10 episode. Surprisingly, TPOT 2 is in the bottom half at 7th. Average of 8/10. The highest was a 10/10 with 67 votes, and its lowest was 2/10 with 5 votes. This episode is a bit overrated IMO, but it's still a good episode, and it was pretty much worth the wait. It was 36 minutes long, which marks it as the 3rd longest BFDI episode. I wish the strongest team on Earth didn't lose, as it was mostly filled with underrated and overhated characters. TPOT 7 is at 6th, should have been higher honestly. Average of 8/10, and the highest and lowest were 10 and 3 with 78 and 5 votes. This is my favorite episode of the season, and my second favorite of the series overall, first being BFB29. The episode introduced 2 amazing, or could have been amazing arcs, which was the Death Pact Again arc and the Basketball and Robot Flower arc. It was a huge step up from the previous 4 episodes, and I don't know why this is lower than TPOT 12, but I'll get to that now. TPOT 12 makes top 5. A little bit of it is most likely recency bias. Average of 8/10. 9/10 has 83 votes, and 2/10 and 3/10 are tied with 3 votes. This has the same issues with TPOT 8, the pacing was all over the place, but 1 was cool, so that's a bonus. The first episode is at 4th with 8/10 average. Most voted was 8/10 with 112 votes, and its lowest was 2/10 and 3/10 with only 2 votes. This used to be my favorite episode before rewatching. It hasn't gotten worse for me, it's only that TPOT 7 was better. This is the perfect way to start the season in my opinion. Taking bronze is TPOT 11, with an 8/10 overall. 10/10 was most voted at 136, meanwhile 3/10 only had 1 vote. This episode was a nice change to the regular competition, and I'm glad they finally escaped, because it sorta bothered me at the BFB finale where they were hanging out and the Exeters were still inside 4. TPOT 10 is second. 9/10 overall. 10/10 most voted at 139, and 1/10 least voted with 2 votes, giving it a perfect most to least voted winners. This episode was definitely the most arc-focused instead of comedy, which we need to see more often. It was similar to TPOT 7. It ended the DPA arc perfectly along with the winner and clock arc. TPOT 9 is the best with a 9/10 average. Most voted was a 10 with 217 votes, and the lowest was a 2 and 3 with only 1 vote. This was a very creative idea honestly, and Pin and Gaty were the best two in this episode. Teardrop's exit was written tremendously, but Puffball should not have been eliminated. I was honestly shocked TV survived over her. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye.